Welcome everybody to probably your first Flinders virtual lesson, which means we can do a lot online that we don't have to waste time in class doing. This lesson's all about how to read a map and use a compass to get around the bush. We've been doing some work in Year 8 on map reading, and this is our opportunity to go and do it in real life. I want you to remember a short acronym. Silly old people really should retire gracefully. Silly old people really should retire gracefully. I want you to press pause now and say that over in your head. Welcome back. I'm going to use the first letter of that acronym to describe the process about how to set the compass and use the map to do our navigation. The first thing we need to do when we navigate is set our compass to north. Now that's really important. Now you'll notice with the compass there's three compasses I have here. Some have got two green lines at the top, one have got a red one underneath. I'll probably use this simple compass to get used to our orienteering. Now S stands for set your compass to north. You'll notice on the compass dial there's all the numbers of the compass, and I'll just bring it up close to the iPad here, and what you'll notice is you've got north, east, south and west. To set the compass to north, all we need to do is put the N for north right on that black line. So what's really important is that there's the arrow on the top of the compass is lining up to the north on the top of the dial there. That is setting your compass to north. So that stands for silly. O stands for orientating your map. Now this is the most important thing that we can do. But in orienteering, we need to do everything precisely, which relates to the habit of mind of accuracy and precision. Now orientating our map, we go about it this way. Every map that we have will have a magnetic north. Now on most maps it will have a magnetic north, a true north and a grid north. Just look for the MN. Okay? Now to orientate your map, what we need to do is put our map on the ground, just like you see here. Putting it down on the ground. And you need to put the edge of your compass on the magnetic north line. And what we do, we move the compass around with the map until, like this, you can see the red on the compass. Come down here nice and closely, please. You can see here that the red magnetic dial, which doesn't move, is lined up with the red underneath on the compass housing. So you've got the north matching up with the arrow and the magnetic lining up there. And you see the edge is right on the magnetic north. That's really important, and the thing I would say is don't let your map move now. We'll just go back to where we were. What that means now is when we're doing our orienteering is that the map is the same as the ground. So if you look at the features with the contour lines, and there's a mountain with the contour lines here, you should be able to look out and see it. You might see a valley or you might see a river, and so the map is exactly matching the ground. So silly, we've set our compass to north. Old, we've orientated our map. Okay? Now, what we need to do when we're orienteering is that it's P, old people, P stands from point to point. Now let's look at this, come down here again. You'll see here, really important, you don't let the map move. But if we're doing an orienteering point, you'll see here, there's point, let's just pick point 22 to point 6. Now that my map is orientated, I can lift off my compass and go point to point. Okay, so that's what you need to do there. P for point to point. Silly old people, really is the R. Watch what I do here. This is really important. You see here how I've got the red magnetic bearing there and the red housing underneath. I have to switch without my map moving, turn the dial until the red arrow underneath matches up with the red magnet. Okay? That's red on red. Silly old people, really red on red. Okay? S stands for stand up. Silly, set your compass to north. Old, orientate your map. People, point to point. Really, putting the red on the red. Should, stand up. The second last one is retire, which stands for red on red again. Really important. Now come here nice and close. What we do when we orienteer, we've got to try and find our bearing. So you'll see here, the actual bearing, this is in mils, not degrees, is 5200. That's your bearing. Now to work out where to go, what you have to do is move around, to stay there, move around with the compass in front of you until again it's red on red. Now if you just pull that up a little bit, you'll see the arrow on the top of the compass. That's what you follow. Red on red, and now you follow the arrow on the top of the compass. Come back this way. Alright, and so let me do it again. You stand there, okay, with your compass in front of your body, and you turn your body around till the red on red. That now will be pointing to exactly where I need to go. It'll take me to the point I need to look for. Importantly with your map, you should know the distance. It's about 120 steps for 100 metres. Keep that in mind. And have a look at the terrain, and it should tell you if you're going in the right direction. If your map contour lines tell you that you should be going downhill, it should correlate as well. Most important lesson though is trust your compass. It's easy to think that you know what's on the map and you can see it, easy to be deceived. So silly old people really should retire gracefully. G stands for go. So what you do in terms of go is you just look at, with the compass in front of you, looking at the arrow on top, just find a tree or a rock where the arrow is pointing directly at it. And what you need to do is walk directly to that point, and you can put your compass away because it would line up. And once you get to your point, okay, what you do is you go through the process again, putting that red on red, finding the next point, and then going again, just like that. And when you're doing your orienteering, keep an eye out, firstly for dangers, but keep an eye out that you should be coming to your marker. The markers that what we're doing at Cardinia Reservoir are on pine poles, and there'll be a little key that you need to click into the card that I've given you. So what I want you to do is to watch this video very carefully, take notes. I'll have a PowerPoint explaining it for you as well on your Moodle page, and there's also a multiple choice quiz that you've got to do as many times as it takes to get 100%. Okay, so learn your material, go through the quiz as many times as you can and get 100%, and you're more than welcome to join me at some lunchtimes just to try out a compass and how it works. But I reckon if we spend our time concentrating on this before we go on an excursion, we should have a really successful and enjoyable day. Thanks for your time, and get into orienteering. It's a great way to find out about the bush and to learn some good skills. Thanks, bye.